Hello and welcome to Vegas Aces. I'm your host, Heather Ferris, and today we have a special guest joining us to talk about how to deal with difficult customers. So let's bring William aboard. Hi, William. Good to
Hello,
see you.
Heather. How are you? Good to see you again.
Doing good, thanks. Good to see you too. Thank you so much for being on and doing this. I really appreciate it.
Anytime, it is really important for us to have this kind of knowledge, a little bit of knowledge, and share with every single one.
Definitely. Well, thank you. And if you could do us a favor and tell the audience a little bit more about you.
Sure. So my name is William Rojas. I've been actually working in the casino industry for over 13 years. I started in Colombia. That's where I'm from. And after that, I joined the cruise ships. And right now, I'm located in Canada. I'm a floor manager for table games. So yeah, that's me.
And you do some training, right? You train floor supervisors.
Yes. So I do train supervisors and relief floor managers. So you know that there is a different perception and different perspective when you go from dealer to supervisor and then supervisor to floor manager. There is a chip that you have to switch or change. Yeah.
I really appreciate you being here to tell people what to switch, what chip to switch. And I swear it's not the same chip that Bill Gates has with
Oh
his
no. Oh no.
vaccine and all that. It's a different chip. We're not
It's a,
talking about those chips.
yeah, no, 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 no. It's so different when a supervisor makes one decision, you're a dealer, and you in your mind is like, why did they do that?
Yeah.
But then as a supervisor, there is a reason behind, and the floor manager will say, I did this because of a different, bigger picture.
Hmm.
So that is what I'm trying to do on my daily basis and my everyday. So yeah,
Okay. Cool. Well, shall we get this party started and start giving some people good tips?
good. Sure, let's do it.
Cool.
All right. So we are going to talk about difficult situations, but this time we're going to do it internally. What happens internally? We talk about so many times in how to deal with customers, specific tips in how to approach different situations when the customer is intoxicated or just angry. So right now we are gonna and today we're gonna talk about the internal part, the
Mhm.
communications, the between pit supervisors or floor supervisors, between the floor supervisor and the dealer. And at the end, we're gonna talk about what happens when the situation arises. All good?
Nice.
All right. So we're gonna start with communication. So as a supervisor, you are the bridge, like you are the connection to multiple areas in the casino. You will be constantly interacting with guests, dealers, floor managers, surveillance, food and beverage. And this is just to mention like a few, but it is essential and it is crucial that every conversation that uh, any conversation is in a very professional manner, also in a respectful manner. That is very important. And remember that you are the connection to management and the guests and the dealers. So you guys have a huge responsibility.
Floor supervisors and dealers, they are the face of the casino. So if the players don't like them, it transfers to the casino and they end up not liking the casino. So it's very important that dealers and floor supervisors have a good face.
Exactly. And now I'm gonna give you something that I learned throughout my career, and is when a customer, it doesn't matter the industry, but when a customer doesn't like something, he will tell 10 people.
Mm. Yeah.
If they like, they will tell like two or three more people. So this will ensure, this will expand, like the negativity, and what is always bad spreads like very quickly and in a huge amount of people.
Yeah. People are more likely to talk about negative experience that they had versus positive experiences.
Exactly. So that part for communication is done. I don't know if you have any questions about it.
No, I think that was a pretty good explanation. Communication is key. Just make sure you talk. Please don't expect people to read your mind.
Please, please. It is important, and be confident when you're talking about uh, any any information. If you're passing information to a supervisor, just be confident. Share the information as accurate as possible. Accuracy, please, supervisors. Be very, very detailed, short and sweet.
Very good advice.
Yes. All right. So the handoff as a
Mm.
supervisor, um, there are certain situations when you need to leave the pit. One of them is, for example, when you go on a break. So it is important to tell the other supervisor the large buy-ins. So here in Canada, we have certain um, regulations, and we have to documentate the large cash transactions. Um, when it comes to dealer rotations, just communicate the pending fillings and credits, the guest informations, and their behavior. So in this example, in this particular point, I'm gonna say just inform the other supervisor if they need to be aware of something that may arise with a particular player.
And the way you do it, don't go up it to the floor supervisor and like, hey, dude, we got a card counter right here. Hey, we got some. You don't want to you don't want to do that. You want to be very discreet, quiet. You don't want anybody to hear you. You don't want to make a big deal about it. You want to do it away from your table, not in front of your players.
Exactly, exactly. And it is important also, not only that, but also the money related information. So you're not going to scream,
Yes.
hey, the total buying is 15,425.
Yeah.
So yeah, that one is a big no-no because it's privacy. It's, you don't know who is the other player. You don't know
Hmm.
if you might follow the next player just based on the information you just shout.
Yeah, and some players don't want other people to know like how much they're gambling.
Exactly. And also, and this is for every single one, come back from break in a timely manner.
Yes.
Please.
100%.
Because all of these pointers and this information, this presentation, this slide is basically to avoid conflicts and difficult situations within the pit.
Hmm.
So, yes, I know you have a question.
Sorry. When people come back early for their breaks, a lot of people don't realize that it takes time to walk down the hallways, go up the elevator, go through the casino. So you don't want to go back at your table exactly when you're supposed to be at your table. You want to start going back like 5 minutes early. So you are at your table when that clock strikes, 20 or 40 or an hour.
Exactly. And I'm going to tell you why it's important that it is important to come back, not only to respect the other person's time, but also and break, because I don't know if there is a full table roulette, for example. but also to say to pass the important information. These chips
Mhm.
are $100, or this player, don't pay him with blacks superstitions.
Mhm.
All that information is really important in order to avoid the conflict and very uncomfortable situations with players and with your supervisor or with your dealer.
And again, be discreet. You don't want to be like, hey, you got to watch out for this dude right here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I've seen that one as well.
I have too. It's crazy. It's like, what are you doing?
I know. So for this part, we this slide is complete. I don't know if we have any other question. No,
No.
perfect. So at the pit, be a manager, but more than a manager. Remember that as a supervisor, you are the first line of management, and you need to be a leader. You need to start thinking in leading by example, and what you do, others are watching. They're always going to talk about how you handle this situation, how you did this. And there are other people that they are admire you so much, and one day they're saying in their minds, one day I want to be just like him.
Yes. Lead by
So
example.
exactly. So it is important to be a good supervisor that collaborates with your dealers or with other departments. It is important to coach. You're going to start coaching. Those are very difficult situations if you don't know how to coach someone,
Yep.
right? If you don't know how to approach that person, you gotta you gotta be careful in the way you approach as well.
Right.
So
You want to be compassionate and understanding. You don't want to go and attack and be like, you did this wrong and you did that wrong. And you're so like, don't do that.
don't, please. And I always tell my supervisor this is a rule that it has been following me, and I think all the casinos have it, but do not correct the dealers at the table.
Yes.
Please.
Yep.
You don't know how you sound. Sometimes we say things, and you know that is wrong, is the procedure is wrong, and the way the dealer dealt or collect the money was wrong, but do not do it at the table. Maybe, and what I always tell, correct the dealer if there is money involved. If you need to pay more or you pay less, you collect like a winning bet. In that moment, yes, please say, hold on, or let me see this, what you did this, or, but do not confront or do not um, lecture the
Right.
dealer at the table, please.
Yeah, it's a very quick, oh, that's $15 instead of $10. Like that, you
Exactly.
don't have to be like, what's wrong with you? Or, you have problem. You don't have to go into all of that. You just have to be like, hey, it's this instead of that.
Yes, exactly. And there are certain things that or pointers when it comes to dealing with this kind of situations. So one, just if you need to correct something or you need to talk to a dealer, just do it in a private area, really outside of the uh, gaming floor. It is huge. It is huge that you don't do that because you don't know how the dealer will feel. What happens if the dealer is having a really bad day, had like problems at home, or something is going on in their life, so you don't want to do that. Also be very tactful and empathetic in a way that you also understand that person.
Yeah.
So yes, or at the end, talk to your floor manager and tell explain him or explain her the situation, what it's happening. Maybe the floor manager will arrange a meeting with both of you, or will address the the problem with this dealer uh, in a very effective and way, you know.
Yeah. And then, like you were saying before, when you go and you talk to them off of the casino floor, what some of the floor supervisors used to do would be wait until you're done dealing. And then as you're going on break, they would call you to the podium because the podium was in the middle of the pit
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't close to anyone that was in earshot. And then they would be like, hey, just to let you know, you did this, this, and this, but we're supposed to do it this way. And, it's really good to follow procedure. You want the dealers to feel like you're in their corner because having your support and you back them is so important for dealers.
Exactly. And just remember, you are their leader, you're their
Mhm.
support, you're the example. And some people, they start in this industry by accident most of the time. I was one of them.
Me too.
Yeah. But you know what? When you are dealing and your supervisor is like wearing this nice suit, that one is my story. The supervisor was wearing this suit, and for every question I had, this supervisor had an answer, and I was like, "Wow, I just can't wait to be a supervisor." That was my story. So just lead by example, be the good supervisor you had one time, and just avoid these situations in public areas. All right. So we're gonna go to the next slide. So when the situation arises. So this one is a combination of the difficult situations within the pit and difficult situations with customers. So it is really important that a conflict between team members. So we're going to talk about conflict between team members. It is likely that at some point it will be it will be required for you to coach the dealer, and the dealer won't receive your coaching in a very positive way. They might not be open to constructive criticism, or maybe unhappy uh, on how you coach them. So please, when there is a conflict between team members, you cannot resolve it on the gaming floor. I cannot get like, I need to repeat this because people, they just like to hurt feelings, and it's like, show how much knowledge do you know, but this is not the professional way how to handle these situations. If you need to have a discussion with a colleague, let's say a floor supervisor, please do not do it on the gaming floor. Take the same break if you can, if you have the autonomy to have like maybe extra on it or spare time. Otherwise, just talk to your floor manager, and the floor manager will take care of, or the shift manager will take care of that. If there is any particular issue between dealers, tell your floor manager. Don't get involved because maybe you are not, you're biased. Like sometimes supervisors, they have like this particular dealer that they like a little bit more or a little bit less. And it is important to inform the floor manager. That way, it's going to be like partial, neutral, and he will know, or she will know, how to handle the situation. I don't know if you have any questions in regards to that.
Also, too, there There's some people you just can't work with. I mean, it's not anything against them. It's not anything against you. It's just sometimes two personalities clash and you're
Yes.
always butting heads or you just can't get along. It's okay to ask for like a different pit assignment. You know, it's
Yes.
okay to let management know, hey, we're just not able to see eye to eye and I'm going to have to, be put into another pit. And they're okay with that because they would rather switch you to a different pit than have you continue having problems in front of the customers.
Exactly. No, I've seen that situation as well. And people, the supervisors, they come to me and they said, like, please, just leave me here alone. I can handle it, and but I don't want to work with X person.
Hmm.
And obviously, as a manager, you want to follow up, you want to gather all the information, you want to investigate and see what's going on. If But the most important thing is to avoid difficult situations on the gaming floor. Also, just let's make it a little bit easier for everybody. Work
Hmm.
environment, let's make it a good one. You're there spending majority of the hours of your day. Please make it
Yeah.
work.
If the dealer doesn't feel comfortable going to their floor supervisor, they're less likely to tell them of a mistake or a problem or something that arises on the table that the floor supervisor might really need to know.
Exactly. So on the next one,
Hmm.
uh, the problems.
Oh,
This one is the final presentation. So just tips and advices. Be professional. Approach with empathy. Also, if you don't know about this one, try to investigate, Google it, but emotional intelligence. It is
yes,
huge, huge.
incredibly. And
Yes,
it'll make your life easier as a floor supervisor. If you don't have emotional intelligence, you might feel like you're frustrated and constantly hitting your head against the wall.
exactly. I always tell my supervisors, and some people they don't know about that emotional intelligence. There are even courses, there are free resources online that you can actually read and see and watch and investigate. Just please do that. Emotional intelligence is huge and it's really important. Also, empathy. Please put in the other person's shoes. All
Yes,
right,
I agree
and
100%.
please make your hours and make your time more enjoyable when you are in the
Yes.
casino. That's all.
And by doing that, real quick, by
Yep.
making yourself have more fun, like if you talk about the stuff you like to talk about, if you, let's say, want to go on a rant on one of your favorite TV shows, you will eventually find players that feel the same way. And then they'll stay at your table longer. And then your conversation with them is more enjoyable. And the casino's happy because this person's butt is in the seat for a longer period of time. So it's good for you. It's good for the casino. It's good for the player. As the dealer, having an enjoyable conversation. I know we're talking about floor supervisors and I keep bringing it back to the dealer, but I've
No.
never had that floor supervisor experience. I've only had the dealing
Oh,
experience.
really?
Oh yeah, I was never a dual rate. I was never a supervisor.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, but you know what? And this is the perception that I was telling you about. Like, when you're a dealer, you just say things, and my um make the situation really hard for a lot of people to handle. But and you just say things in the way you think are those things are correct. And as a supervisor, you have a reason why you're doing that. Just change when you're this transition is really important, and especially when you're like going to management, to a management position. So just but just work on those things and those pointers that I mentioned before, but really important and huge: emotional intelligence.
Yep. I agree 100%.
All right.
Thank you so much, William. Thank you for coming on and sharing your wisdom with everyone. And
No,
it was a lot of great pointers. So, really appreciate it.
no, thank you so much, Heather, again. Once again, it was a pleasure and an honor.
Thank you.
Uh, thank you so much. And for all the Vegas Aces fans, thank you for watching. Tell us if you can tell us stories. I would like to see in
Yes,
the comments, please.
in
Like,
the comments.
yes, problems between colleagues or with your dealer, or what was the weirdest things that, or uncomfortable situation at the pit with
Right.
a customer? That would be
Or how
interesting.
you or how you handled it. Like if something was going on and you're really proud of the way you handled it, put that in the comments.
Yes, absolutely.
Cool. Well, I hope we will see you again, and I hope you'll come back many, many, many times.
I hope so
And
too.
and can you tell people how they could find you if they're interested in contacting you to learn more?
Sure. Well, my LinkedIn, so it's
Mhm.
William Rojas.
Okay,
Um, we're gonna leave the link.
we'll put
Yeah,
the link below.
perfect.
Yeah,
That works.
and then that way people can just find you and be like, "Oh, there
Yes,
he is."
exactly.
Cool. Well, thank you again. Thank you so much, and
No,
it was great having you.
thank you, Heather. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it, and thank you for the invitation. It's an honor. It's an honor.
Thank you. I'll see you later.
Bye.